again, of course, in most of the businesses, you face other companies selling similar products. They are competitors, and you need to compete with them to sell more your products than others. But sometimes, if you try to provide the different kind of products from different perspective, then for the customers, the product itself, service itself, it's something different. So if the customers consider your product is very unique and they want to use your product, and they cannot find any other product similar to yours, in that case, you don't have to compete because your product service is the only solution. And I will today in my material for today, I will explain more in detail. So let me stop about this now, but I will explain later. And now, some groups said not clear about the 5 forces model. Again, important point about using this 5 forces model is the relationship between your company and competitors and also suppliers and buyers. So relationship with other 5 forces, that is important. And you use this framework to consider how you can be better than others, how you can have more bigger bargaining power against supplier or buyers, or how to impede competitors' businesses. That is the most important point. So that is why here, like for the industry, for the competitor in the same industry, you have to think. For example, here I wrote heavy investment for further differentiation with unique products. Again, to win the competition, you have to provide better products, better services. And in many cases, for customer, if your product is very unique, different from others, customers buy your product. So again, to compete with the other companies in the same industry with the similar products, this kind of differentiation is important. And for the differentiation, I will explain more, so you will hear more. And again, potential entrants, substitutes, these are also competitors. No, they can be a competitor. Potential entrants, they will bring the similar products as yours, but they are not in the market yet. They will enter the market later, sooner or later. So you need to compete with them, and like against competition against the company which already exists in the same industry. Substitute is something, the company which provides similar products but not exactly the same. Again, beer lao, people drink beer lao. What can be the substitute? Wine. When people feel they want to drink alcohol, they consider if they want to drink beer or wine. Sometimes you feel like you prefer drinking wine, not the beer. So in that case, they can be the substitute. So you can think different kind of products. Yesterday, I explained with this. For the substitute, again, you have to think 2 things. Products with similar functions, like similar functions for the exercise, and different products with same purpose. Fitness and dietary food, somehow people have the same purpose for doing the exercise and for eating the dietary food. So again, for thinking the substitute, you have to consider these two kinds of substitute. And for supplier and buyers, again, important thing to think about is the bargaining power. Bargaining power of your buyers, bargaining power of yourself. Who can have bigger bargaining power? You, as a company who sell the products to buyers, you want to have a bigger bargaining power. You don't want to give the buyers too much options. So
recording in progress.
So that is why you think how to elevate your bargaining power. That is the same for suppliers. Against the suppliers, if suppliers have bigger bargaining power against you, they will probably set at the high prices. When they sell like egg to your bakery, they will set the price higher because you don't have much choice. Your bargaining power is lower. But against the supplier, if your bargaining power is higher, for example, in the case that you have many suppliers, that you have many choices, then you can tell the supplier, maybe I will buy eggs from you, or maybe I will buy eggs from others. It depends how much you offer for me. In that case, you have bigger bargaining power. So again, against competitors, how to compete. And how to compete, we will think about how to differentiate and so on. Against two forces like suppliers and buyers, you need to think about the bargaining power. And this framework all to show you what kind of industry you can be more profitable. Is it clear now, or it's still difficult to understand? Again, of course, to analyze the industry itself, it's very complicated. To analyze the industry, you need to get a lot of information. But in fact, it can be very simple, because if you just think about 5 kind of companies and people, then somehow you grasp the whole picture of the industry. That is the essence of Porter's 5 forces model. And let me explain PPM. PPM. This is for positioning, but this is also for your company with several businesses to think about how to allocate your resource, like money, to each business. Again, suppose your company have 4 businesses. Yesterday we think about ice cream, what was that? The grocery store, hamburger shop, and tuk-tuk operator. 4 businesses. And you don't have enough money. You don't have enough capital. So you need to consider which business you want to emphasize more, which business you will have less emphasis. Then for the business you emphasize more, you put more money. Sometimes for the business, you don't see much, you don't see the bright future. Maybe you decide to stop operating in that business. And product portfolio management is the framework that you can use when you consider where your business are located to decide how to allocate your resources to each business. Then, usually the businesses here with high market share but low growth rate of industry, then it is called cash cow because they can make the revenue, big revenue and profit because their market share is high. But that revenue, profit you can get from this business, maybe not only use the profit for this business again, but to use that money for other business with potential. And again, when you draw this diagram with this framework, first you need to know the market share of your business. Suppose you produce and sell ice cream. No, you need to understand what kind of company exists in the ice cream industry, for example, in Laos. Suppose you find out 5 major companies, and what are their market share? You get the information somehow and allocate if it's high or low. But be careful. High, sometimes, of course, 10% market share can be high. Sometimes even 3% market share can be high. Why? Because if there are only 3 companies or 5 companies, let's say the top market share company has 30% market share, other 3 companies 10% and so on, then in that case, maybe 10%, something in the middle, 30% high, 5% low. But if there are many companies, like 100 companies, if you have like a 3% of the market share among all 100 companies, maybe your market share is the highest. Others have about only 1% of market share. In that case, even 3% of the market share you put here high, because others all 1%. Okay? And growth rate of industry, it's more simple. You somehow try to get the information about the growth rate of the industry. For example, in total, ice cream industry in total in Laos, how much was the total revenue of all the companies last year? Then how much is the total revenue of the all company this year? Maybe 10% growth, maybe 10% decline. So you will get such kind of information and just put high or low. And you need to get, for each business, you need to get this market share information and industry growth rate information to use this product portfolio management. Is it clear now? Okay. If you have more questions, okay, Miss Cantoli, yes.
But